Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. If you are new here, I talk about cryptocurrency and stock videos on a regular basis. If you have seen my videos before, I highly recommend subscribing to make sure you do not miss out on any of the updated content. And so today I want to talk about the cryptocurrency markets, all of the FUD that is happening, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and also manipulation. And so there was news that China came out with that they are talking about banning cryptocurrencies and also banning cryptocurrency mining. And so that has scared a lot of people, especially people that are not familiar with cryptocurrencies or have not traded them for a very long time. And so cryptocurrencies are very volatile, and so that's something to keep in mind. And so throughout the video, I'm also going to be introducing a new cryptocurrency that has a very strong foundation, and they are also working with a governance council with some of the largest corporations in the world, and so that's very interesting. Also, if you would like to sign up for a cryptocurrency exchange, there is a few different exchanges that I use below, and so if you'd like to check that out, those are under the video. I also have a link down there to Webull. If you'd like to sign up for that and deposit $100, you can get 2 free stocks. As always, I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. This is just my opinion. And so let's get into the video here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on Binance. And so as we can see, Bitcoin is trading right around $38,000. This did drop substantially down here all the way to $30,000. And so let's make this a little bit bigger so we can take a look at it. And so here we can see that this has been dropping since the high of $65,000. And so we did hit a low of $30,000. And so this is the blue line. And so we can see there is pretty solid support there. And so back in January of this year, we saw that it broke through here. It came up, hit $40,000, and then it came back down, tested support at $30,000. And then we ended up breaking through $40,000, and that's where we saw it continue. And so I think we may see the same thing happen here as well. And so we did break down through that $40,000 support that I talked about before. And now we did come down and test the $30,000 support the other day. So since then, we did bounce back a little bit. We were right above $40,000 for a little bit. And now we are back under it. And so I think that is going to be our resistance. And then here's going to be the support. And so we may hang in here for a little bit if we do start to hear some more negative news on cryptocurrencies. I would not be surprised if this does continue to drop back down and test the $30,000 support line. And so that's definitely just something to keep in mind. And so there is also a lot of positive news on cryptocurrencies as well that I would like to take a look at. And so we have to look at the big picture here as well. We are up substantially over the last year on cryptocurrencies. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind if you are holding your position. And so the first thing that I would like to take a look at here is the Nebraska legislator. And so they have been voting on a bill called the Financial Innovation Act in Nebraska, which would make Telcoin, another cryptocurrency, the first digital asset bank. And so I have made videos on this in the past, and so if you're interested in viewing those, I will post it at the end screen and below in the comments. And so they have been voting on this for the last couple of weeks. It has passed the last couple of times, and it has been presented to the governor just the other day. And so if he does sign this bill, this will go into effect for Telcoin. This is going to be a very large catalyst for Telcoin specifically. However, I think this will impact the entire cryptocurrency market as well. And so I have one other article I'd like to take a look at here as well. And so as China is banning cryptocurrencies in the US here, there is states voting on cryptocurrencies becoming part of the financial system. And so this is definitely something very beneficial. This is something very positive for the cryptocurrency space. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind as all of this FUD is going on. And so Illinois is also voting on this. They're going to be voting on this next week to allow cryptocurrencies to be run on financial services. And so they have been talking about this. Wyoming was the first state to allow them. And then there's the Financial Innovation Act in Nebraska. And then there is Illinois going to be voting on this as well. So this is something to keep in mind. They are starting to pass these bills for cryptocurrencies. And I think as we see more states passing these bills, we're going to see a lot more attention from the federal standpoint as well, as they're going to kind of start to really look into this. Powell also hinted at looking into digital assets this summer. And so I think there's going to be much more attention on cryptocurrencies going forward. And so the cryptocurrency that I would like to take a look at today is HBAR. And so this does trade on Binance, as you can see here. And so this is the cryptocurrency platform that I use. If you are interested in signing up for this, there is a link below. And so HBAR is currently trading right around 28 cents today, and it is up 23%. And so a lot of other cryptocurrencies are down today, with Bitcoin falling. And so this is one of the rare cryptocurrencies that's actually up. And so you can see that it hasn't been doing much over the last couple of weeks, as it has been consolidating, especially with Bitcoin being very volatile. And so I would like to look at this a little bit larger as well here, so we can see that this did start to run up. However, we are starting to see very high volume. Over the last couple of days, the volume has increased substantially. We really were starting to see some very high volume here right before Bitcoin started to crash. And so that's just definitely something to keep in mind for this cryptocurrency. I think there's a lot of potential. And so I'd like to take a look at their website here. And so this is HBAR. Like I said, this is Hedera Hashgraph. And so I'd like to take a look at what they do. And so they have a dual role of HBAR. HBAR is a native cryptocurrency of the Hedera public network. HBARs are used to provide power to decentralized applications and protect the network from malicious actors. And so this is a very secure network as well. This is different than blockchain. This is actually running on Hashgraph. And so this is different than a lot of different cryptocurrencies. This is the first one that I have seen like this, and so that is why I find it very interesting. And so I'd also like to look at this as well. This is the 3rd generation public ledger. And so Bitcoin pioneered decentralized infrastructure, and Ethereum brought programmability. But earlier proof of work blockchains consume massive amounts of energy and process transactions slowly in order to achieve acceptable levels of security. And so heavy bandwidth consumption by these technologies leads to expensive fees even for a simple cryptocurrency transaction. And so I will compare this to other cryptocurrencies so we can see how it does compare from a fee standpoint and a speed standpoint as well. And so the Hedera proof of stake public network powered by Hashgraph consensus achieves the highest grade of security possible with blazing fast transaction speeds and incredible low bandwidth consumption. And so this does compare them here, so we can take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Hedera. And so they are calling this Bitcoin the 1st generation, Ethereum 2nd generation, and they are calling themselves the 3rd generation of cryptocurrencies. And so the transactions per second on Bitcoin is about 3, and then Ethereum has increased that substantially to 12. However, the transactions on Hedera is about 10,000 transactions per second. And so the fees are also substantially less here. We can see that Bitcoin's fees are around $23, and then Ethereum's fees are around $19.55. And so this will depend on the usage of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and so these can vary. And so Hedera's fees are 0.0001 of a dollar. And so this is substantially cheaper, and this is a fixed rate, and so this will not change. They also have a transaction confirmation, and so it takes about 10 to 60 minutes for a confirmation from Bitcoin, and then on the Ethereum network it is about 10 to 20 seconds, whereas on Hedera it is about 3 to 5 seconds. And so in comparison with Bitcoin and Ethereum, Hedera looks to be much better in these areas, and so I would like to compare this to one other cryptocurrency that a lot of people have been talking about. And so I'd like to compare this to Cardano. And so I would like to give a shout out to HBAR Tower on Twitter, as they have provided this chart. And so Cardano was created in September of 2017. Hedera was recently created in August of 2019. And so they are a little bit different. This is blockchain based, where I mentioned Hedera is actually Hashgraph based, and so this is not blockchain based, and so this is different from a lot of different cryptocurrencies. And so as we were looking at before, the transactions per second is about 10,000, and even on Cardano, the transactions per second is 1,000. And so this does look a lot better than like Bitcoin or Ethereum. However, Hedera blows Cardano out of the water. And so they also have transaction speeds as well, and so their transaction speeds were 3 to 5 seconds, and Cardano's is 3 to 20 seconds. And so their fees are also very low. Like I said, this is a fixed amount, and Cardano's fees are about 16 cents. And so this does look to be very cheap in comparison to Bitcoin or Ethereum. However, Hedera still has the fastest speeds and the cheapest costs so far. And so Hedera also has many more transactions per day. They have roughly 9.4 million transactions per day in March of 2021, whereas Cardano had about 85,000 transactions per day. And so there is substantially more transactions happening on Hedera. And so they are also forkless, and then they also have a much lower energy consumption. And so this has been the concern lately with cryptocurrencies. And so the estimated energy consumption for Cardano is about 6 million kilowatt hours per year, whereas for Hedera it is about 90,000 kilowatt hours since the launch. And so the estimated network cost for Cardano is about $1 million, whereas the estimated cost for Hedera is $118,000. And so this looks to be, in this comparison, much better than Cardano. It seems to be faster, the fees are lower, and they have many more transactions per day. And so I'd also like to look at their website again here. They also have a governing council, and so the governing council consists of 39 term limited and highly diversified organizations and enterprises, reflecting up to 11 unique sectors. And so they have all the different areas they are working with. They are working with some very large corporations to help them on the governing council to develop this cryptocurrency. And so as you can see down here, they are working with Avery, they are working with Boeing. They have recently announced they are also working with Chainlink, which is another cryptocurrency that I'm very bullish on. They are also working with Deutsche Telekom, and they are working with Google, IBM, LG, Shinhan Bank, a bank in South Korea. They're also working with Tata Communications. And so they're working with some very large companies from a broad spectrum of areas. And so I think this is very important from a cryptocurrency aspect. If you can get these corporations behind the cryptocurrency, then I think it will do very well. So rather than just one individual developing it and pushing it out, they're getting their input from all these different corporations. And so I think that is very beneficial for Hedera. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to see different cryptocurrency videos in the future, hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.